Hi Sunday School, welcome back to our video. Hope you're all doing well and ready to learn because today we are learning about being vigilant. So what does being vigilant mean? Being vigilant means being watchful, being wide awake and alert for looking out for any danger or opportunity. So let's learn about being vigilant and what it says in the Bible. So have you ever been woken up in the morning, about to be ready for school, and you felt so tired and you felt like you wanted to fall asleep? Well, I know I've had that feeling. And in Mark, Jesus went with his disciples, Peter and James and John, to Gethsemane to pray before he died on the cross. But they couldn't stay awake. So we're going to find out what they did. The verse that we'll be looking at is Mark 14, verse 32 to 42, and it says, "Stay awake and pray that you will not be tempted. Your spirit wants to do what is right, but your body is weak." This verse means that we want to do what's right in our hearts, but sometimes it's hard for us to actually do it. Like our example, we want to wake up and get ready for school, but we sometimes fall asleep and we're tempted to fall asleep. So make sure you have a paper and pen ready because we're going to draw out each stage of what happens in Mark. So it says here, Jesus and his followers went to a place, Gethsemane, and he said to his followers, "Sit here while I pray." And Jesus told Peter, James, and John to come with him. Then Jesus began to be very sad and troubled. So we are going to draw out Jesus, Peter, James, and John in Gethsemane. And now I'm going to try my best to do my drawing. So I'm going to use a black pen and I'm just going to draw one circle for a face. And it doesn't have to be neat, but make sure you label who you're drawing so you don't get confused. So here are all my drawings, and now we're going to move on to the next part. And it says, "Then Jesus began to be very sad and troubled. He said to them, 'I am full of sorrow. My heart is breaking with sadness,' and stayed here and watch." So we're going to draw Jesus. We're going to draw him praying to God. So I'm going to do Jesus' face. And this is not the exact picture of Jesus. This is just my representation of him so that you guys know what is happening in the story. So we're going to do his head and face and now I'll get back. So now we have done, let's move on to our next part. And it says, he prayed, "Abba, Father, you can do all things. Let me not have this cup of suffering, but do what you want and not what I want." So Jesus is telling God that he wants to do his will, and whatever God wants him to do, he will do it, even though it means he has to sacrifice his life for the sins of us all. He is willing to do the Father's will. So let's find out what happens in the next part. And it says, "Then Jesus went back to his followers. He found them asleep, and he said to Peter, 'Simon, why are you asleep? You cannot stay awake with me for 1 hour? Stay awake and pray that you will not be tempted. And your spirit wants to do what is right, but your body is weak.'" And this was our verse of the day. So we know that Jesus was saying that he wanted them to stay awake and be vigilant. And we know that vigilant means being alert and being aware. So let's draw out the situation. So now I've drawn all my pictures, let's find out what we have learned today or what we can. Jesus is saying, how are we going to wait for him and his second coming if we cannot wait for 1 hour? He wants us to be vigilant, be alert, and watch and pray, as we do not know the hour or the day when Jesus' second coming will happen. So I'll see you all next week, and make sure You be prepared, be alert, and always watch and pray.